Hey my lovelies, welcome back to my channel. It's your girl Mel and we are here with mommy. So we already know it's another story time with mommy. Story time with mommy, story time with mommy. This story time is different, maybe not to you or your eyes right now in this video, but to us because we are in Germany. We are currently in Germany. We have been here for a few days now, and yeah, we are not in Jamaica at the moment. So you already know Germany automatically means say I go get one video with pictures and stuff. Yeah, I know it's coming. No worries, I know it's coming. But yeah, we will also be doing a lot of vlogs, like, you know, just going around doing some activities and stuff like that, so you will get to see that as well. But let me not ramble on too much because I know what you're here for. You know why you're from me right now, you know. You know why I'm here from. So mommy,
all right,
take over.
Disclaimer: the stories that I'm going to tell in this series are my experience, my truth, and my point of view over the past 38 years that I have been in Jamaica. And it's in no way intended to slander any person, the culture of Jamaica, or the island as a whole. Hi Miss Lovelies, back again for another story time. I hope you see with me tonight. Well, it's night here.
Oh yeah, we are 7 hours ahead.
Okay,
so right
it's
now
night here already.
we have after 8 p.m.
And I'm still jet laggy. So I don't know. I hope I don't speak too much
rubbish.
foolishness. I'll try. Okay, back to the Hunches Marina. The first thing that we had to do being there, actually I told you I took over the marina, right? But the initial enterprise that Vern had was a lot bigger than just the marina. There was a side part there that held his offices and some other organizatory parts for him and the bathrooms. So I found myself now in the situation that I had to construct some bathroom on my side, where the docks are and
So
the restaurant
he
was.
basically just left you the marina part.
I had the marina part with the
And
entryway, but there was no bathroom there.
He had the other
Right.
sections.
And
Okay.
well, what happened? He did not have that neither anymore because he sold out and gave away everything.
Oh.
Because he was leaving the island completely because he had skin cancer, and his doctor told him he had to leave out of the country because there was too much sunshine for him. So basically what he did is he was very industrious in that respect. He had some other things going too on the island or in Port Antonio, and all he did is basically sell out, give away, get ready to get out of Jamaica. So that part of his enterprise was cut off for me because I only had the part where the boat was, the Hunches, which was his boat, and he left it too with a bleeding heart, I guess, because I mean that's the boat he came on initially. But he said, all right, I can't move this boat anymore, it's not seaworthy anymore, so I'm going to leave it. And then anyhow, I found myself in this situation. Okay, fine, I have a running business, I have everything, but a toilet. So we decided on a little spot a little further in on the land, and we dug a hole and put in a pit. You know, at that time, all Port Anthony basically had seep-away pits. If you know what that means, it's like you put whatever you have in your toilet into this big basin, and it will slowly but surely seep away through the dirt and thus get filtered. It's actually a very clean way of getting rid of your waste. So what we did is we started to build this little thing. On the right side we had 2 toilets, male, female, which we weren't that, I mean, it was not really that hard. It's not like you can only go in the male or you can only go in the female. It was like, well, there are 2 toilets, you know. And on the left side we built 2 shower stalls. And the funny part was, because my children were there and they were always present with everything what was done, and then what they decided, once the shower basins were cast with the concrete, they wrote in their initials and the year. So for them it was like an adventure again. It's like, yeah, we are building something and we can put in our initials and that will be there forever. So that was kind of interesting to see how they participated in the whole process of building this, what we called it, a bathhouse. 2 toilets, right? 2 showers left. Because what happened is a lot of sailors came in, of course, on small boats, and they wouldn't have the facilities to really shower neither. And they were happy to have the opportunity to use both sides. And the toilet, of course, was for our restaurant guests as well. So it was really, really essential that we had that built up. So after that finished and done, finally the marina was really ready and perfect to function again. Just our part of it. And so we just settled in our living. The children went to school. As I told you, all of them went to a new school, because remember the teacher story? So I changed them to a new school, which was actually closer to the marina. So they basically had to go out of the yard, turn right, go on the next left road up the hill a little bit, and that's where the school was. So it was very, very close.
Where's school at?
Baptist school. Baptist Hill? Baptist school? Where the gas station is? Total, and you go up to the hospital? Right, you just go on a little bit and there was a school right there. So one day, my son Nicky came down, run on. Oh my God, mommy. I said, what is happening? I said, Yosha. I said, what is with Yosha? I said, he fell off a tree. And he hurt his leg. And he was completely like, upset, and said, come. So at that point in time, we had some doctor in the marina at the time. I think he came from the Portland Medical Care Facility, which I again was involved with because they took over my house. I told you in chapter, I don't know which one. So everything is always interlinked in Port Anthony. So he said, okay, I'm coming with you. So we just walked up the hill there. As I mentioned, it wasn't far. And I saw Yasha sit on a wall there. And he wasn't crying or anything, but he was just sitting there. And they were like, I can't get up. I looked at his leg and said, oh. Because this whole leg was like, kind of, how you could, like crooked. You know? I mean, this is his foot. And here, like, so I said, well, that is not really how his leg looks normally. And the doctor looked at it very shortly and said, okay, that's broken. So we had to get him now to the hospital. I said, what the heck did you do? And they apparently had some form of challenge who could climb a tree faster than the others. And of course my son, you see, my son, he is very, very competitive, you know. I mean, very. He's like, anything you want to do or you play with him, like any game you want to play with him have to win.
To this day, he's like...
He's still the same. I mean, and so I guess he put his everything in that. Rush up that tree, and one branch broke under him. He dropped.
So that was on the school campus?
It was on the school's campus in break time. And I think the principal of the school wasn't too happy when we came up there and found him like that, because of course it was within their responsibility.
Yeah, because
that things like that don't happen. And I know if I had been in America, I would be rich now. Anyway, Jamaica things don't work that way. So all that happened is basically we got a car and put him in a car and brought him up to the hospital. And then, and I have to say, he was really good. I mean, he was in pain. You could see he was in pain, of course, right? But he didn't really cry or was in any way hysterical or nothing. So we finally reached up there.
So no, so when teacher did beat to pay somewhere, never do any more ball, so to mommy that was...
No, it was a serious thing that time, seriously, because Yasha never ball easy. So we reached up there, and whoever was there in the emergency room just looked at the leg as well and said, that look like it broke, so we need an x-ray. But we're in Jamaica, guys. That very same day, the x-ray personnel decided to strike. So, no x-ray. So my poor little son was there with his dislocated bone, and there was nobody who would take an x-ray. With that, the doctor said, well, without an x-ray, we can't do anything. So he had to spend the night. And this time I couldn't take him out like I did take out my other son. I had to leave him there because there was no way I wanted to move him with that leg. So they gave him some painkillers, I guess, and he was pretty reasonable about it. He was not too distraught, of course, but he was in pain. So I left him there, went back early in the morning. Okay, are the x-ray people still on strike? No, he will get his x-ray. So they made an x-ray, found out it was dislocated, it needed to be relocated, which normally couldn't have been done without him to be put under, right? You know what happened that day? Give me a guess.
The anesthesia people on strike.
You got it. I'm serious. First the x-ray people, now the people who give anesthesia were on strike. Yasha was still there with his bad dislocated bone, and the doctors were like, oh my god, normally we have to put him under and put it in. So, and then they said, we are going to try like this. And I was like, are you serious? I mean, this must cause so much pain. Oh yeah, we are going to give him some pain medicine. So they tried. Well, trust me, they didn't try again. They did it one time, and then Yasha was like, ah! And I was like, no! You're not going to torture my child any longer. Which meant another day. Another night. So, I mean, they were kind of embarrassed by now. We are talking 2 days, right? You come with a broken bone to a hospital and take them already more than 2 days just to get to a certain degree there. So next morning again, okay, now we are going to operate on you because I couldn't do it differently. So I reached up there early again. They kind of give Yasha some tranquilizer kind of stuff. And then they pushed him in the bed to the operation room. I went with him. And suddenly he became hysterical. I mean, the first time in the whole time since this thing happened, he was absolutely hysterical. He was like, no, I don't want to be put under. I'm not going to wake up again. He was crying. He was like getting really extreme.
How old was he?
How old was he there? 12? About 12? And he was convinced if they would put him to sleep for the operation that he would never wake up back again. He was convinced. So I, of course, had to stay with him. I held his hand and I tried to calm him down. Everybody tried to calm him down. Everyone was like, but never mind, everything is all right. Don't worry yourself. And he was convinced he would die. So I stayed with him as long as possible, held his hand, and I mean, they practically had to push me away when they pushed him in the operation room. But by that time, he was like sedated, and he was kind of cooling down. But for me, it was like, oh my God, my son, is he really going not to go? But sometimes people have feelings also,
Mm-hmm.
And I was like getting a little bit hysterical myself. But of course, everything went fine. Everything was all right. He came back out. He woke up and I said, "See, Yasha, whoo, you woke up. No problem. You see me here. Everything is all right." So he smiled. Give me one big smile. And at least that part of it was finally solved. Only took 3 days, for broken leg. So he got his cast, he got everything, and then by the next day we could bring him home. And at that point in time in the marina, we had a banana ship coming. We called it banana boat. It was one big cargo ship that came from England. Every week we would get one. Mm-hmm. And I think they were like every 4 weeks we would get back the same ship. Mm-hmm. So I took them a certain amount of time to go to England and unload, reload, come back. And we had the crew of those ships would always come to the marina and have their drinks. And my God, they used to bring me red cabbage and liverwurst from Europe, I mean, whatever. I said, what we can carry for you next time? What we can carry? And sometimes I didn't even know, but I told him, bring me this. And they would always bring it, They were very, very nice. All 4 boats were extremely nice. So one of the boats just came in that day and saw Yasha come back with his cast. And they looked at him and said, "Oh, but you need crutches." And we said, "Yeah, we didn't get any yet, and let's see." By the next morning, the engineer of that boat came back and they built him some crutches out of water pipe, and I don't know what else they had in there, anything they could find on the banana boat, and built, I mean, some heavy duty crutches. You wouldn't believe. I mean, they were heavier than me, but they were so proud about them. And Yasha was like happy to have something that he could move around with. It worked actually pretty good, but if you had ever see them, I mean, they were like...
So wait, was it like the two hand thing or the one piece?
No, 2 hands, 2 each for 1 hand.
Okay.
Right? And like I said, some gray water pipe, and then put in something blue, and then some red tape. And I mean, it was really makeshift, but it was very sturdy, and it really did its job. I mean, Yasha took these things and he started to bong, bong, bong all over the place with his leg in his cast. He was happy, yeah, I can move again. And they were proud, because they did something really good. And actually, after all this thing was healed out with his legs, those crutches were hanging in the marina for years. They were like historical decoration pieces in the marina. Like I told you about the flags. Well, that was part of it too. Mm-hmm. So that was a really, really nice experience with these guys. So, and Joshua was mobile again. Well, after all this whole long story, actually his leg really healed well in a pretty short time. And he was going on fine. Now you can imagine, at that time, How old was I? 1990? How old was I? 55, 35. 35 years old, 3 children, owner of a marina, white woman on top of it, which you have to imagine one thing, in Jamaica, as a person owning a business, it is bad enough if you're white. It's much worse if you're a woman. Because from all these years that I have been there, all these years, that has been a real obstacle in my history. First you're white, second you're a woman. And I can tell you, even up to the business we have now, the restaurant, same thing happens still after all these years. White woman? Why she would get a business here? So I had a very weird status in town. On top of it, I was not somebody who would wear business clothes, or go on in any way as if I was the owner of an enterprise like that. Because in Jamaica it is kind of expected, once you have a certain position, that you wear even like your skirt and blouse and your jacket and your high heels and whatever as a woman, and you're always groomed perfectly. Not this one. Sorry. I was wearing whatever I felt like wearing, and most of the time I was walking barefoot. Because hey, come on, we're in a marina. We are on the ocean. There are sailors around me day and night. Why would I even wear shoes? So of course that was not a how would I say easy way for the people over there to accept that. Because in their eyes, I would have to react differently. You see, as a man, it's like a different ball game, If as a man, you can wear your khakis, but Vern always wore shorts, not with tie or so. But I mean, he was pretty businesslike. But yours truly here, nothing like that. I was just wearing what I was wearing, and I told you about my foot chain that was making noise already. So I was not the typical image of a businesswoman over there. But of course, for the male part of Port Antonio, I was interesting because I was single, white woman with a business.
Ching, 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 ching.
Exactly.
Like dollar sign.
It's like ding ding dollar sign. I mean, all around me, pure dollar sign, And I was, of course, still hurting from my previous experiences. So I was not really into getting into no relationship with nobody too much, And then again, I needed somebody around me that maybe for a change would understand where I come from. Meaning, a few months into owning the marina and running the business and so, this tall, slim, pretty dark Rasta man turn up and start talk with me in German. And I was like, oh, okay. And I asked him, of course, where he learned German and so. He said, oh, I lived in Munich for a few years, and that's where I learned my German. And anyhow, I'm back in Jamaica for now, he said. I mean, he was very honest from the very beginning. He said, I'm here for now. And he told me even that he had a girlfriend in Munich, which was pregnant from him, and that he was planning to go back to Germany in a few months because he had to leave because of paper reasons and stuff. And so we started to talk and exchange whatever news and histories and this and that. And it turned out, if you remember, I was introducing Rita to you last time, that he was Rita's ex-husband. And I was like, okay, But he, like I was saying, he was very honest about the whole situation from the very beginning. He was saying, oh yeah, that Rita was my wife, and then some Don and Sandy are my children. And I was, oh really? They're your children? Oh, I met them, and I met Rita, and oh yeah, we are getting along fine, and we are good friends and stuff. And he said, oh yeah, that's just wonderful. And then he told me about his girlfriend that he had now in Munich, and her name was Sabina as well. And that, like I said, she was pregnant, and in about 4 months he would go back to Germany and be with her and build a family with her. And he said, okay, wonderful, fine. But as it turned out, there was some attraction between us, and I let him come into my life. But the thing is, for me it was perfect. He had been in Germany before, he spoke German, and it was nothing that would last. I mean, I wouldn't have any obligation, I wouldn't have to deal with any long-term business, and I was a little bit lonely, of course. So when he came there, for me it was like, well, if it's not me, it's another woman he's going to deal with anyhow, right? So I didn't even feel guilty towards a girl in Germany.
Why?
Because it's like, I knew, by that time, I knew Jamaican men well enough that, as I was saying, if it wasn't me, it was somebody else. And at least I would let him go, right, peacefully, and wish him luck and say, hey, all the best.
Some of me, but if you knew that the lady was pregnant.
Melody, if it wasn't me, it would have been another woman. There was no doubt about it.
I know, but
and I was in a situation, after all the disappointments I have had with those men that I have met before, I didn't have a problem anymore saying, okay, fine, I know you will be only here for 3 or 4 months more, right? Why not? And then you go about your business, I go about my business. I didn't have a problem with it at that time because I was not ready for a real relationship after all the foolishness with Lou and with my husband. And I was so well aware.
You condoned him cheating.
Actually, he would have cheated anyhow.
Yeah, but that's not your responsibility. When you aided in that,
this way, he would have been cheating anyway. He would probably cheat with a woman that would ask to stay with him and be with him and give him problem. Now, I was letting him go.
But not with you.
Why not with me? I did not feel guilty. And actually, years after, I met that woman and she was okay with it too. Because she knew he would be cheating on her. She knew. This is how Jamaican men mostly are. When they are not around their woman, they find somebody else. That's how it is. And as I was saying, at that point in time, for me, that was a perfect situation because I knew he would be going after a while, and then he could live happily ever after with his wife. Or woman. No, she wasn't his wife, his girlfriend. And I had been looking around me for, at that time I was in Jamaica, 7 years? And whatever I saw around me in those 7 years was nothing but that. Woman gone, new girl.
No, I understand that, and I understand that you were in a mindset that, hey, you're just going to enjoy yourself. But I don't think I could have done it knowing that he has a pregnant girlfriend at the moment that he's returning to. That's just
but Melody,
that is the only
again,
I'm saying
I understand
mommy.
you, but again, try to understand. It was basically a perfect situation for him too, because what happened? The moment he would leave, there would be no looking back for him neither. He did not have to
It
be
doesn't
afraid that I
matter.
would call him all the while. It's, oh, I want you back. Or whatever, like what women do when women do
It
when
doesn't
you are
matter
in
if
an
it was-
outside relationship. And so it was very clear from the first of the
I
that we met
understand
that
all of that.
by
mommy.
the time I leave, that's it.
I understand all of that, but
So I didn't feel guilty.
okay, I wouldn't have
Because
done
by
it.
that time I had been through so much and I have looked around and seen everybody else how they were acting and reacting and doing things. For me, it was a very clean cut situation.
That's fine. I wouldn't have done it knowing that the woman was pregnant.
Well-
if she wasn't pregnant, that's a different story. But there's
But
a
all
whole...
the better because Mello,
No,
I
there's
let
a child
him
in
go.
mommy. If you were in Germany at the moment and you were pregnant and your baby father left Ghana,
No.
Jamaica, mommy, you
My
expected.
husband did that.
But was it nice when he did it? Did it feel
No,
good?
but she
Was you expecting it
Look
to?
here, the point was it would have happened anyhow.
Mommy, it doesn't matter if
And
it would have happened.
better
I'm
that it
just
happened
saying.
with
No.
me at the time because I let go. Another woman over there wouldn't have let go probably.
Mommy.
She might have been called a woman over and said,
Mommy.
oh, you know, that man was with me for so and so long and now him come back to you and you. Then, no, I would never do that.
Mommy. That is all
But you have a different
fine
moral than
and
me.
clear. I'm just saying, if I was same like how, alright, they always say put yourself in that person's situation.
And I was in that situation.
But you didn't like it. It didn't feel nice to you.
But my situation was different because my husband was not only cheating on me, but he left and he was gone and he did all
No,
kind of
but I'm saying, Mommy,
hurtful. Melody,
even
at
if it-
that point in time,
even if-
honestly, I did not care.
Even if it was just that he cheated on you, you still wouldn't like it.
Melody,
That's
at
what
that
I'm
point
saying.
in time, I did not
I
care.
understand
and I
that.
said, better for all people involved because at least once he's gone, he's gone.
Mommy, I'm saying I understand say you never care. I'm just saying I'm speaking from my perspective.
Yeah, I know, but
Yes, but
can
you
have
are
that
trying
perspective.
to tell me
No,
that I
no,
should
no.
look at it that way.
No, I just said try to understand why
I
did
said
what
I
Okay, fine.
understood.
So we reached this far, guys. So she she understand. Okay.
I understood a long time
Anyhow,
ago.
still my
When I get-
reasoning was at that point in time, when he's gone, he's gone. So he was there then for a few months actually, and we got along fine. But we had a loose, friendly, loving, gentle relationship. I realized that somebody who live in Jamaica, who used to live in Germany, would understand a lot more about where I came from, what I was made of, my thinking, than the men that never left the island, for example, and stuff. So it was a relaxing situation. So the months came, or the date of him came to leave. So all we did is we said our goodbyes. We hugged and kissed, and I told him, have a very good life with your woman and your new baby. I wish you all the best. And I didn't feel no way neither. I wasn't sad or suffering or nothing. For me, it was a very clean, clear-cut situation.
So by that, when you said he lived in Germany for a couple of years, like how many years? Like how much of the culture did he actually experience?
He did experience a lot of the culture, but I mean, it's like many Jamaicans I have met in Germany, it's like they are very adamant to keep their own not personality, but their own experiences, and do not really adapt
Their
really
own culture,
to their own culture, and do not really adapt to the German culture.
And he adapted?
No, to a degree, but that degree was more than I've had before.
Mm.
And it was kind of easier to deal with somebody that I didn't have to explain everything to.
Mm-hmm.
Like why I am thinking like that, why I am
That's why I'm
reacting
asking
like
how
that, why
many-
I am
how
speaking
many
like that.
years
He
did he-
would know. He was in Germany like for 7-8 years at least.
Well, yeah.
Yeah, not only a
Because you
year
said
or two.
years, it could just be 2, 3, and then.
No, it was a good amount of
Okay.
years he was here.
Mm-hmm.
So anyhow, as I was mentioning, the day came, he left, we said our goodbyes, and for me it was completely okay. I didn't have a problem. But as life is playing, things happen again as usual, and that will be our next story.
Oh, and now what kind of things happen?
What?
No, I'm just saying, I wonder what kind of things
Well,
happen.
you will see and hear.
No, I know anyways.
That is how I'm getting famous for always stopping at a point where everybody is like, what's going to happen? What's going to happen? So next time.
Anyways,
I'm
guys,
cool, huh?
that is it for this story time. This time we're gonna get a little discussion, between mommy and daughter.
Mm-hmm. She didn't know.
No,
Did
I
you?
didn't know that part.
She didn't know.
That's why I was just asking questions.
Yep.
Because I would have never thought that mommy would be the type to be okay to cheat on, like, to knowingly have a man cheat on his baby mom.
Sure.
But we live and we learn. So I just learned something new about mommy.
And life happens.
And life happens. Nothing is wrong, everybody. Have their life experiences.
Yep.
Um,
So don't judge me too hard.
yeah, no judge her. She's been through enough. She's allowed to
No, and
do
at least
some.
I'm honest. I'm not trying to cut
Yeah.
it down or make it look better than it was or whatever.
And I
If
mean,
that is
you're-
how it
you're-
was, and for me it was completely okay.
You're allowed to do your stuff too. So
Thank you. Feeling so good.
you're welcome.
All right, guys.
Thank you so much.
See you next time.
Do the outro properly, no?
No, you do it. You are the outro.
But you are rushing to come off the
She's
camera.
the outro. Okay, next you do.
Thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you in my next video. Bye. Du bist bescheuert.